Hey everyone, and welcome. If you've got a car in India or you're even thinking about getting one, then you're in the right place. We're going to break down something called bumper-to-bumper insurance. You might also hear it called zero depreciation cover, and figure out, what's the deal with it, and is it really worth your hard-earned money? So let's just kick things off with a question that I'm sure has driven a lot of you crazy. You've got your comprehensive insurance policy, you have a small fender bender, and then the repair bill shows up and you find out you still have to shell out a pretty big chunk of cash yourself. It's so frustrating, right? Why on earth isn't the whole thing covered? Well, the reason for that annoying gap between the bill and what your insurance pays, it all comes down to one single concept that most people don't really think about. There's this hidden cost that your standard policy just doesn't touch, and we're about to shine a big ol' spotlight right on it. And there it is, the villain of our story, depreciation. It's actually pretty simple. The moment you drive your car off the lot, it starts losing value. And it's not just the car as a whole, it's every single part. So when you make a claim, the insurance company pays for the current depreciated value of that part, not for a shiny new one. Let's make this real. Imagine your bumper gets damaged, and the repair costs, say, 10,000 rupees. Now, on your 2-year-old car, the insurance company says that plastic bumper has depreciated by 50%. So, a standard policy? They're only going to pay 5,000. And the other 5,000? Yep, that comes straight out of your pocket. That's a nasty surprise, isn't it? So, are we stuck with this? Is there a way to get around depreciation and actually have your insurance cover the full cost? Absolutely. And this is where the hero of our story makes its entrance: zero depreciation cover. Bumper-to-bumper, or zero depreciation cover, is basically an upgrade, an add-on you get with your main policy. And its entire job is to tell the insurance company one simple thing. Hey, you're not allowed to deduct for depreciation. This means they've got to pay the full price for new parts, not the old, worn-out value. Okay, let's go back to that 10,000 rupee bumper repair. This time, you have zero depreciation cover. What happens? Well, the insurance company pays pretty much the entire amount for that brand new part. Instead of you paying 5,000 rupees, you might only have to pay a small compulsory fee, maybe $1,000. The difference in what you end up paying is just massive. So, what's the bottom line? It's all about flipping the script. You get a much bigger payout from your insurance, which means you pay way less yourself. Simple as that. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds amazing. But, like with any kind of insurance, it's not some magic wand that covers every single thing. It is super important to know exactly what you're getting, and maybe even more important, to know what you're not getting. So this chart lays it all out. On the left, you see the good stuff. Plastic parts, rubber, metal body panels, they're generally covered. But look over on the right. This cover won't help you with mechanical issues, like your engine getting damaged from an oil leak, and it won't cover things that just wear out over time, like your tires and battery. Oh, and of course, if you do something that violates the policy, like driving under the influence, you're not getting covered. So please always read your policy documents. Okay, so now we know how it works and what it covers. The next big question is, who is this actually for? Is it the right move for your car and your situation?
Let's get right to it. Should you be thinking about adding this to your policy?
Well, you should seriously consider it if any of these sound like you. If your car is new, usually less than 5 years old, this is when you get the most value. If you're a new driver, still getting the hang of things, for sure. And if you drive in the absolute chaos of Indian city traffic every day, yeah, the chances of a little scrape are pretty high. It's also a no-brainer for owners of premium cars where parts cost a bomb. But honestly, it's for anyone who just wants that extra bit of peace of mind on the road. All right, we've covered the what, the how, and the who. It all comes down to the one question everybody really wants to know. When you look at the extra cost versus the benefits, is it actually worth the money? Let's just put it right here, side by side. On one hand, you have the cost, and that's a small bump in what you pay for your insurance every year. But on the other hand, you have the value, saving potentially thousands or even tens of thousands of rupees on just a single accident claim. So, what's the verdict? Look, for most people with new cars in India, especially with our traffic and road conditions, that incredible financial safety net you get from a bumper-to-bumper policy almost always outweighs the little bit of extra cost. It's really an investment in not having to worry. So I'm just going to leave you with this one last thought. When you actually break down the extra yearly cost of this add-on, it usually works out to be less than what you'd pay for a single movie ticket every month. So the real question is that complete peace of mind, knowing that a little mistake on the road isn't going to lead to a giant unexpected bill? Is that worth it? I think you know the answer.